You want no BS marketing strategies to get more HVAC leads. Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to go through those in detail in 1 second, but first some principles about HVAC marketing that I think will help you be more effective overall. 1, referrals will always be number 1. I like to think of everything that you do in marketing as supporting referrals. And hey, it also means the product and the service has to be great and not shit as well. 2, own your marketing. Hey, I know you can do a lot of things to outsource everything. You can also pay Home Advisor, pay Angie's List, pay everybody to build their brand. Build your brand. 3, know your numbers and learn the basics. You need to know every single strategy that's possible to get leads, and then at least know the basics of each of those strategies, because there is no way you're going to be able to outsource or even delegate if you don't understand the basics of what's being done. Next, make it about them, not about you. It's awesome to say, hey, we're the #1 HVAC company in San Antonio. But I'm sorry, at the end of the day, that homeowner is the hero of their own adventure. You are competing with them in their mind. I want to talk about smart homeowners choose an HVAC contractor that is licensed and well-reviewed. I want to talk about the specific things that you guys do to make their experience amazing, but I don't want you to be the hero of the story. I want the homeowner to be the hero of the story. Next, be there when they're looking, whatever that means to you. Interrupting people all the time with ads, right? I do advertising, right? I'm in marketing, so we do ads. We do ads on YouTube. We do ads on Facebook. We do ads everywhere. The point is I concentrate my efforts mostly on the places when they're looking for somebody like us, we show up. So whether that's Google Ads, SEO, whatever, but when they're looking, be there. That principle is a way to order your effort and make sure that you have the emphasis on the right activities. All right, a few words on Home Advisor, Angie's List, etc. If you're Googling the thing that you want to show up for, let's just keep on hammering on San Antonio. San Antonio HVAC, and they come up like Home Advisor and these different lists, you're competing with them. That's a competitor. Don't pay them money to be better at competing with you. You want to build your own presence in those spots and stop paying a competitor to make their marketing better. All right, let's get into specifics. You need a badass, brilliant, persuasive website. How do you do that? Number 1, you make sure that there's a lot of reviews, social proof on that website. I like to include a picture of the person who left the review, 5 stars, where it was left, so like a Google or Facebook logo, so that it feels real. Next, you want your website to be fast. Hey, on your phone, does it take 8 seconds to load? That's bad. Let's get it down to 2 seconds. You can do things like caching, making images smaller, different things to make it faster, but also, can I get to what I want to get to fast? Or are you burying the lead? Are you burying the important part? Next, mobile. I want somebody to be able to be a thumb and an eyeball just scrolling and get to the main things and get to where they're going. Mobile should be a clean experience. It should be simple, and it should allow them to get where they want to go quickly. If you had to pinch and zoom on your website, we're way out of bounds. Even if you have a mobile-friendly, responsive website, just making sure that, like a lot of them, everything looks really messy. So if nothing else, just pull up your website right now on your phone and look at it. Would that experience invite you in if you were a customer? Next, call to actions. I always think you should have, right when somebody lands on the website, a call to action, either in button form or a lead form for a service request. Next, answer all their questions. People have questions in the sales process. Write them down, especially if you hear them 2, 3, 5, 10 times. Write those questions down. Either turn them into blog posts or put frequently asked questions sections on your sales pages and answer those questions alongside your other content. Now, if you tuck that frequently asked questions section on its own page by itself, people don't go to that. And they also don't go to separate testimonial and reviews pages. Mix these things in with the content, make them prominent, make them easy to get to. When you're answering these things in blog posts and videos, it just allows people to become familiarized with you, and hey, you're their HVAC provider. You're the one that cares about comfort in their home. Let's get to lead sources. We got Google Local Services. These Google Local Services ads a year or two ago, it was a gold rush. It allowed you to get a lot of leads very quickly. It depends on your area now. Is it really popular in your area? Do all of your competitors do this? It's gonna depend on some experimentation. I certainly think it's a great opportunity for a lot of companies. Next, local SEO. Basically, this is also about getting higher in that map section on Google. When you, let's say, search San Antonio HVAC, you see this map right up at the top that has like 3 listings, sometimes 4. And what makes somebody get in that map? Well, a lot of reviews is one thing. A very filled up Google My Business also allows you to show up higher, and relevancy to their location. Being as comprehensive as possible when you fill that out, and making sure you choose your categories, making sure you use all of the space for the description, and getting a lot of reviews, that will help a lot. We also believe in location-specific landing pages. So if you create location pages for all of the areas, all of the cities that you serve, that will allow you to show up higher in that map. I also like making lists, even if you include your competitors in that list, because a lot of times it's what is the intent of this search? If the intent of this search is to find a list, I want to be the one that's making that list so they find my website and I can control the narrative. Also, PPC for the most lucrative keywords. I think you can keep that tight by adding negative keywords on a regular basis. I think sometimes people let Google spend their money however Google wants to spend their money, and that's not necessarily wise. You need to get in there and do negative keywords on a regular basis and keep your budget tight if you really want PPC to increase your revenue. Other lead sources, we've got Nextdoor. That's an app for people to just gather and ask questions about the neighborhood in your area. See if people are on there, see if it's active. I've seen handymen and different types of contractors use this just to answer people's questions and then to volunteer if they offer that service. So that's an option. If you have your marketing manager in there, at least just being part of the community conversation. Next, Thumbtack. Hey, Thumbtack, I've seen a lot of contractors get real business in quantity off of Thumbtack. So at least experiment with that. Then local Facebook groups. Get a referral circle. Trademark Tim Brown, 2021. No, a referral circle is just and let's say it's a landscaper in your area, you keep referring him on these local groups. So Facebook allows like, hey, there's a community in your area, there's a bunch of people gathering in a group and they're talking about the local community. They all the time they're asking for, hey, who's the local landscaper? Who's the, this is my random Facebook person. Who's the local landscaper? Who's the local HVAC guy? Have somebody else refer you. So it's not just you promoting your own stuff. And sometimes they discourage that strongly, but have somebody else refer you and you refer them. So every time somebody asks for a landscaper, you refer them. Maybe you have your asphalt friend as well. Get a bunch of them. Get a bunch of people that they refer you every time, you refer them every time. Email marketing. I think that this is great for both. Hey, when somebody submits a contact form, can we drip out promotions to them over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 days? Hit them with a drip campaign after they submit a contact form. And what about your biggest seasonal promotions? I think seasonality in HVAC, it allows you to essentially know, hey, I know a bunch of people need this service at this time of year. Let's hit them with promotions around that time. You want to push into the things that are already working, and you want to make sure that you're getting in front of people when they're already going to be thinking about those things. Next, PPL and call center. So I'm not a big fan of these two, but I certainly encourage you to experiment. Pay per lead is basically that idea of every single lead I get, I'm gonna pay this company. Sometimes they do it through Facebook ads and sometimes they do it through Craigslist or whatever else. You kind of want to know how they do it at least so that you're not like exposing your brand to negative PR or whatever. But the other thing is call center. If people are calling on your behalf, getting business that way, I don't know, experiment with them. And then Google My Business is the biggest one from my point of view, along with your website. Hey, in general marketing, how do we build a brand? Testimonial videos is a great way to do it. Reputation is huge. So for reputation management, hey, there's a tool called Podium that sends up texts, and also you can do text message back and forth with customers. I like Pulse M is another option that allows you to basically text people before your technician comes out. It gives a picture, shows what they look like. This is when they're going to show up. And then also ask for a review at the end. It's a Very good system. We have clients on it that have hundreds of reviews. Beautiful. Next, delightful customer service. Hey, that's not that hard, but it is your best marketing tool. So taking strong consideration about your customer service systems, that's going to build your marketing more than anything. And then focus on these technicians and their training. So each of your technicians is a consultant basically for their home, and acting that way and really seeing, hey, what else could make this person feel more comfortable? Not making a decision for them about what they can and can't afford, but giving them the options, laying them on the table, saying, this is the different options that you have. What would you like? And I think sometimes we make a decision for our prospect and we don't let them make their own decision. You're not being pushy. This is not sales. This is not, we're not trying to upsell, but really giving them the option and consulting and telling them, hey, this is what I've seen before. These are the options that you have. Next, hey, I can't help but go deeper on SEO since that's our specialty. I strongly suggest 700 plus words on each of your key money-making landing pages and making sure that they're persuasive, right? Making sure that you have powerful imagery and headlines that show your ideal customers experiencing the benefit of your service. Next, blogging. You should be blogging on a regular basis. You should have somebody on your team blogging on a regular basis. You should be answering these questions both so that people could find you on Google when they're Googling those questions, but also so that there's a drip, drip, drip of fresh content on your website, increasing your ranking for your other pages on your website, because Google says this website is putting out content regularly. They are a resource. It helps when you blog, but you need to make sure that you're blogging about things that people are actually searching for. So if nothing else, look into keyword research. Have a rhythm and a system in place for habitually going after that every month. Local citations is a big one. You can Google local citations and get a service to do this, but it's basically creating 100 plus listings on different local service directories and then linking back to your website. Sponsoring events is an opportunity, both to increase your brand awareness and when you sponsor an event, a lot of times our website links back to those types of things. It may be a little while, we're in the middle of COVID season right now, but events are going to be even more powerful when people have been locked inside for a long time. I think that consider how they will play in this next couple of years into your marketing stack. Building brand recognition and having a very clear value proposition is marketing basics, but it builds into everything else that you do. Having a clear value proposition, having a slogan, having this is why we're different than competitors, all of that builds into the tactics, the specific little granular ways to get more leads. Lastly, an advanced tactic for search engine optimization or getting higher on Google is HARO. It just means help a reporter out, and it allows you to pitch media sources. They ask questions on there and you can pitch them, and a lot of times they'll link back to your website. Once again, the keys to getting higher on Google: getting more links from authoritative websites, creating comprehensive content that people are searching for, and then lastly, just making sure that your website is well ordered, fast, has tight meta titles and descriptions. That's what we do at Hook Agency. I hope that this resource has been useful to you guys. I hope that you get a lot more leads in 2021 than you did in 2020. And of course, if you need anything from Hook Agency, reach out. We're at hookagency.com. Bye.